You're still watching the Diamond News Desk at 8, and it's now time for the mining news update. And here are the stories making headlines. NGO demands release of Sino Metals pollution, and later on we'll also take a look at the mining cadastre department that has posted record revenue in 2024. These are the stories we have for you today on the Mining News Update.
As FQM, we believe in the four core values, which I've seen myself going through and experience along the way. We believe in being bolder, smarter, driven, and together. And these things have encompassed our work culture in FQM, and I've learned to apply these things even outside my work activities, because it's an opportunity that we've been given to actually be able to apply yourself. So being bolder is being able to approach a problem and being able to solve it with the ability to be able to think outside the box and be able to stand up and say, I believe this is a solution and this can work. And there's a lot of opportunities. Solutions don't just lie in our managers, in our superiors or senior management. Solutions come from any person who's bold enough to say, look here, I believe this can work. I believe we can change the way we do things.
And now the news in detail. Futurepreneurs Zambia has urged government to publicly release the investigative report of the acid spill involving Sino Metals earlier this year. Speaking at a press briefing, Executive Director Martin Kampamba said transparency is key for understanding the full extent of the environmental damage. He has reviewed that the organization was denied access to meet affected farmers in the Kalusale farming block. Mr. Kampamba also alleged that Sino Metals has withdrawn food aid to impacted families, even as they continue to suffer from soil contamination and crop failure. And farmers in Kalusale have appealed to government to expedite compensation, citing delays and poor communication.
On February 18, 2025, a catastrophic event unfolded in Zambia's Copperbelt province. The tailings dam at the Sino Metals leach mine in Chambishi collapsed, unleashing an estimated 50 million liters of highly acidic and toxic waste into the Mwembeshi stream, a tributary of the vital Kafue River. In the wake of this environmental disaster, a critical demand has emerged. Futurepreneurs Zambia, a non-governmental organization, is calling on the government through the Zambia Environmental Management Agency, ZEMA, to immediately release its report detailing the findings of the pollution.
In it, that to start with, the report that was purported to be done by the government and ZEMA in particular with regards to the damage and the disaster that happened with the Sino mines has never been published. So we are demanding the government that let them publish the report, that is, be available to the Zambian people so that they may understand the context and what is in that report. Secondly, when we visited the area, we were bad to enter the area where this Sino mine had polluted the land. And it was a concern to us to say, why are they refusing us to have entry in that area? The reason being is that we wanted to find out from the communities what are the challenges which they are facing. But the truth of the matter is, Sino Mine has not continued providing humanitarian to these people.
Meanwhile, some affected farmers have urged government to expedite the process of compensation.
So I would like the government to come in and help us and push Sino Metals to compensate us as far as the land is concerned. Otherwise, we are really being affected. Believe you me, this farming that we do this side is for business.
Sino Metals Leach Zambia Limited and Longzin Investment Limited have been directed by government to compensate over 500 farmers for damages caused by pollution from their operations. The total compensation package is over 16.2 million kwacha. Rogan Lavika for Diamond News, Copperbelt Province.
And still in the mining news update tonight, the Mining Cadastre Department has recorded a significant 69.7% increase in non-tax revenue collection for 2024, becoming one of the top-performing units within the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Development. Now, according to the Ministry's annual report, revenues rose from 67.5 million kwacha in 2023 to 114.5 million kwacha in 2024, surpassing the department's target by 44 million kwacha. Now, this revenue boost was largely attributed to fines imposed on license holders for non-compliance as enforcement efforts intensified. Now, licensing activities also surged, with 2,551 out of 3,307 applications approved. Well, those are the mining news stories we had for you today on the Mining News Update. But now, we'll take a look at the mineral commodities.
Mining News, sponsored by First Quanta Minerals Limited, operating Kansanshi Mining PLC, and FQM Trident Limited.
Well, for the mineral commodities, here's how they performed as of end of the day today, 18th of June 2025. Aluminium, as of end of business, was at a closing price of $2,550.50, and it's on an upward increase of 1.47%. But for copper, it saw a closing price of $9,669, and unfortunately saw a downward decrease of 0.35%. For zinc, it was at $2,638.50. That was its closing price, but also it saw a decrease of 0.73%. But for nickel, it saw a closing price of $14,924, and it saw a downward decrease, I beg your pardon, in percentage of 0.96. But for lead, it saw a closing price of $1,976 and a downward decrease of negative 1.157%. For tin, it was $32,266, and that was its closing price, but it saw a downward decrease of negative 1.08%. Well, those are the mineral commodities for you on the Mining News Update tonight. After this, we'll continue with the Diamond News Desk at 8.
Mining News, sponsored by First Quanta Minerals Limited, operating Kansanshi Mining PLC, and FQM Trident Limited.